Well, thank you very much for joining me here again at Tyrant Slayer Studios. We are in the midst of performing a massive data dump this week. We are going to be disclosing a tremendous level of information that has been reserved for the past year. And we're doing so with the hopes of making the audience and the community aware of what exactly has been going on, why, who's involved, when things occurred, the who, what, where, when, why, and how. It's all going to be disclosed here, and it's in an effort to help drum up support for the $5,000 I'm trying to raise for attorney fees. Not a big deal if I don't get there. It is kind of a big deal, but throughout the course of my 39 years on this planet, I've always seemed to find a way to manage things myself. It's just I feel like my daughter's running out of time. My wife, my friends and I, my family and I, we adamantly believe she's being molested over there. So, an attorney could help expedite things, that's for sure. But anyway, what I have here for you today is just one more piece of this enormous picture that will be painted throughout the course of this week and next. It's going to take a long time to go through all of the police reports and documentation I have. If you've seen my previous video, you know what to expect. If you haven't, please go and watch it. It was uploaded just before this one. But basically, here is part number 2, in which I was called by Jacob Kilhenny. He is the live-in boyfriend of my ex, the mother of my child. By the way, just to clarify the confusion in the comment section, I was never married to this woman. Yeah, so anyway, he calls me up. I don't even know how he got my number. He calls me from a halfway house, which, by the way, is illegal. It's not even supposed to be making phone calls out of there. Calls me up out of a halfway house that he's in. You'll learn why he was in there. We have the police report. And basically tells me that my ex is a complete psychopath, which we know. And that she's been prostituting in front of my daughter, and she's got transients coming in and out of the house at all hours of the night. He tries to attempt to apologize for selling drugs and doing what he's done to my daughter and in front of my daughter. And basically, I think this guy molested my daughter. I think he's one of quite a few who have molested my daughter. And we're going to find out if that is the case eventually. Hopefully for his sake, he hasn't. But, yeah, he paid me a call in July and basically told me he wanted to do everything he could to help me protect my daughter from her mother, because she's a lying, prostituting psychopath that's doing drugs. And he wants nothing to do with her at this point in this phone call. It's quite revealing. I'm not going to talk anymore because some of you just can't stand it when I talk. But I am going to play the audio for this, and I want you guys to listen to it very carefully. Thank you.
Tim here. Who's this?
It's Priscilla's ex.
Oh, Priscilla's ex. Hey, what's up, man? What's up?
Alright, so I just want to let you know how big of a piece of shit she is.
Well, I already know all that stuff. I mean, she's not a piece of shit. She's just got some head problems, man.
She's a piece of shit, bro.
What?
I got pictures of her fucked up on heroin and all that other shit.
Oh, really? You should send those to me. I just sincerely appreciate that.
Really...
I've got pictures of her messed up on heroin and shit. In the presence of my daughter. Now, I think I should just recap real quick before I continue on playing this. He called me. I was on the road. This man called me. And I told him I was on the road and I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't really hear him very well. And that I would call him back when I returned home. So upon returning home, I went out onto the deck after getting my children, including my daughter, situated inside. And gave the man a call. This is what he had to say.
Thinking about it, like anything that... See, I'm fighting for my daughter right now. She got molested and raped by the mother up on heroin and all that other shit.
Well, I already know all that stuff. I mean, she's not a piece of shit. She's just got some head problems, man.
She's a piece of shit, bro.
What?
I got pictures of her fucked up on heroin and all that other shit.
Oh, really? You should send those to me. I just sincerely appreciate that.
I'm really thinking about it, like anything that... See, I'm fighting for my daughter right now. She got molested and raped by the mother's boyfriend. And I wasn't perfect. I used to use drugs and shit like that. And, so basically, I'm gonna actually... It's kind of weird. I got pulled over in her car selling drugs to make money for her.
Okay.
And I'm in a rehab going to court for it right now.
Okay.
So that way I don't get in trouble with the police or the court system. So while I've been in here, she's been sending me clothes. Mind you, I'm not asking her for none of this shit. She's sending me clothes, talking about, oh, just do what you need to do. I love you, yada, yada, yada. But I got other pictures and text messages of her sending it to dudes making pictures. She's sleeping around with people in the house. I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I know she's pretty fucked up. I took custody of Araya on Mother's Day, actually. And
I know she's been crying to me the whole time about it and playing both sides. So I didn't know what to do. I'm kind of hurt over this shit. So end of the day, though, I've been telling her that, the shit she's doing while I was at the house, Ray wasn't really around for like I would sell drugs and shit like that. I treated her like my own. I bought her video games, whatever she wanted, I bought her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I cared about her. I cared about her a big time. So like I would never keep drugs in the house or anything like that. But I did what I did. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
And
I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? No, not really. What you said was kind of vague. But after talking with your sister, Mr. Kilhenny. She's beside herself as to how Priscilla, the mother of my daughter, could even allow you to be around her, knowing what she knows about you. And with the word molestation being tossed around in the conversation, I can only imagine what's on his mind and what he's really trying to express here. Perhaps you folks would be kind enough to use your imaginations with me and your intelligence to piece together an idea of what's been happening in that house. But I digress.
I apologize for it. I'm a father. I knew it wasn't right, but she was complaining about not working and bills and shit like that. But
well, it sounds like you're on the right path now. I mean, you sound like a pretty decent guy. He's a father who can't go anywhere near his children, by the way, as far as I know. But it's okay for him to be around mine. The family court has no issue with Priscilla being a heroin addict and letting this guy sell drugs out of the house and stuff. To date, the court hasn't even put his real name on the court order restraining him from being anywhere near my daughter. They still got his fake name on the court order. They don't want to rectify their issue, their mistakes, and get real. But anyway, I digress again. I'm awful stressed out now. I can barely do this. So please bear with me. You sound like you're getting your head screwed on the right way and shit. So I sincerely appreciate you reaching out. You know,
Yeah.
Rhea is the most important thing to me. Priscilla is secondary. I mean, I do care about her and stuff, but she's got some serious issues going on, and I can't have my daughter around that shit. So that's why I'm in the middle of what I'm.
No, absolutely. I understand that completely. But anything to do that I can do to help, I'm around, man.
Yeah, that'd be great. If we can team up and get Priscilla to fucking snap out of her funk and get her head screwed on straight, get some therapy, get all cleaned up and off of drugs and shit, stop fucking dating a million guys a week and actually create a stable environment for her daughter, then her daughter can start being a part of her life again.
Exactly, and I think that's the best bet for everything, because you know what? It kind of pissed me off, like...
I think that's the best for everything, he says. This is a guy who's getting gifts from her. She's telling him she loves him. He lives with her, right? He knows what's been going on in the house, and he tells me, yes, I think you're right. That's what's best for Rhea. I've shared this audio with the court. Yeah, it just right over their heads. They don't care. They don't care. They already had it all planned out from the beginning. We're going to steamroll this pro se litigant. We're going to violate all of the Connecticut practice book rules. We're going to violate the rules of the court. We're going to violate Connecticut laws. We're going to violate federal laws. We're going to violate Tim Riley's constitutional rights. We're going to threaten him with arrest and force him to leave the courthouse today without his daughter with a capias. Go ahead, all you watchdog groups. Go ahead, Mr. Bacon Boy. Why don't you get your head wrapped around what a civil capias is, and tell me where in the Connecticut practice book the judge has grounds to use a capias to get me to relinquish my legal guardianship and custody over my child. Let's see you work your head around that one. I digress.
At first, I was contacting you because I was like, you know what, fuck this bitch, you know what I mean? Excuse my language, but I was like, fuck her, she's playing people, this isn't cool. But then I really thought about it, I'm sitting here thinking about Rhea. You know, I loved Rhea like she was my own daughter, you know what I mean? I never heard of Rhea, I always played video games. I know about her ex, Gary. I know about all her exes and what they did to her, and I don't understand why she can't just focus on herself.
I know about her ex, Gary. I know about all of her exes and what they did to her. He's talking about my daughter. Okay? You guys starting to understand here? I hope so.
I mean, she just had some random dude in her fucking house, and I should send you the picture of this dude. He looks like a fucking drug addict. Actually, my sister knows the guy, and he doesn't have a job. He lies. He doesn't care. And she just blocked. She sent my sister last night a ton of naked pictures. I mean,
Yeah, she was using Snapchat to solicit sex for money and drugs. That's what he's talking about. My nephew, who was around 18 at the time, received those solicitations. I got calls from old friends and family talking about this, right? It doesn't matter to Judge Mazurowski or Judge Barry Shitface Armada. No. None of that matters. All that matters is that I lose custody. They steamroll. Well, actually, I didn't lose custody. All that matters is they get to put a $15,000 debt on my head, and I have to start, well, they think I'm going to start paying child support. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to contribute to the corruption ring, the racket that is the family court. And Judge Barry Armada, Judge Mazurowski, Attorney Johnston, Matthew Potter, they're all going to be losing their jobs. That's the reality here. I'm not paying any money. My daughter is going to be returned to me, and her mother is going to prison. That's a fact. Bet on it.
What the fuck is she doing?
Yeah. I would appreciate if you could text me any of that stuff, because what I'll do is I'll make a stronger case for myself, not necessarily against Priscilla, but it'll strengthen my case. Like, we're going to court tomorrow for another bullshit hearing, which, by the way, she committed a felony. Basically, we've already been to court for this hearing out in Hartford. So because the judge didn't rule the way that she wants, the judge didn't rule in her favor. So now I hope I didn't screw that up. She's like shopping around. She's going to a different court to pull me in for the same exact thing before a different judge. That's a felony. You know, it asks you right on the paperwork, like, is there another case pending? Have you already been to court for this in the past? To give you guys some quick insight on that, what she did was she filed for an emergency ex parte when I refused to return my daughter, who refused to return to her mother's house, physically trembling and crying uncontrollably for like 2.5 hours, to the point where I was worried she was going to dehydrate herself. She couldn't tell me what happened in that house unless she was so scared. Okay. But basically, after I kept my daughter here, Priscilla went and filed an emergency ex parte application. And now some of you might be aware of the police encounter in my driveway where they try to take my daughter and they claim they have a court order. What they had was a copy of her application for an emergency ex parte, which was denied. I didn't even have to go to a hearing for it. It was just flat out denied. So what she started to do was shop around Connecticut courthouses to find the right corrupt courthouse that would pursue things on her behalf. But I digress. X amount of time, and she says no in each one of those fields. So she's lying in the paperwork and shit and shooting herself in the foot. She's going to get herself in trouble big time. But tomorrow I got to go and present, you know, some more information to strengthen my case, and she has all the burden of proof, but the more information I have, the better. Like, you know, so I'm really glad that you reached out, and you're obviously doing so with the right intentions, you know, so I'm...
Yeah. I'll send everything over, man.
Excellent. Yeah, anything you could send that would be helpful would be fantastic, man. I sincerely appreciate it. And you can call me anytime if you need anything, if you just need someone to bullshit with or whatever. Call me anytime, man. I'm around. I'm a good person to talk to, and I'll help you out any way I can.
I remember you met me when I was in the car one day.
Yeah, I did. I remember seeing you in the passenger side. I didn't know who you were. I wasn't going to ask. I don't like getting involved in Priscilla's shit.
No. I ended up going to rehab to get away from all the bullshit, and she ended up just basically like dropping me like hotcakes.
Yeah.
She could go fuck around and do that.
Yeah.
At the same time, she's sitting here sending clothes. I mean, just buying me shit. I'm like, no, why? I don't. Like I said, I don't even ask for the shit. I don't know why she's doing it. I don't know why she just doesn't tell me, hey, listen, I'm talking to somebody. And
okay, so I also during cross-examination asked her about this. I said, are you communicating, when I was trying to find out what his name is, because I didn't know Jacob Kilhenny is his name. He doesn't disclose that here. So I'm asking, have you been in contact with anybody in a halfway house? She says no. I said, you're not sending clothes to anybody and letters and corresponding with someone who was arrested in your car? Nope. You weren't living with a man who was arrested in your vehicle? Nope. So there's like right in that 2 minutes of questioning, she must have committed 7 counts of perjury, and then goes on to say his name is Jacob Schandorf. It's just, the list goes on, and I'm gonna dump it all on this channel throughout the course of this week.
Because I had an agreement with her. We would work on each other slowly, but at first, let me work on me, let her work on.
Now he's got a new agreement with her. See how he wants to be helpful here, right? He told me, I'll send everything over. I want to help Araya. I treated her like my own, right? Well, as soon as he gets out, which you saw in my previous video, he's out sometime in August, late August. And she gives him a pair of Nike Air Jordans in September. You know, they're hanging out. They got all their pictures in July. Or no, he gets out in July. So they start hanging out late July, mid-July through August. By September, she's buying him Nike Air Jordans and has him telling me to go F myself. That's called tampering with a witness, bribing a witness. But I digress.
You know what I'm saying? Let her get her mental health, because she's crazy as fuck, bro.
Yeah, she is. She's got some serious issues. Anybody and everybody who has ever met Priscilla says the same exact thing. There is something really wrong with her. Really. Even her own family says so. Her brother, last time I talked to her brother, he's like, she's fucking deranged and delusional. And like, that's why it didn't work between us.
I gotta get going. I gotta go to dinner, and I'm not supposed to be on a cell phone, but I will contact you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, man. Be good.
All right, take it easy.
Later. All right. So, there you have it. That's just two tiny little pieces of this mountain of information that I've gathered and been sitting on, not disclosing publicly, for over a year. Two little tiny pieces. And again, I'm hoping that with the disclosure of this mountain of information, people can really get their head around what has been happening and how insane it is. How the state of Connecticut is facilitating the danger, the imminent danger and abuse and trauma that my daughter is being subjected to, despite my evidence of and testimony and documentation. Oh, well, I'm just a pro se litigant, so I don't matter, right? I don't have any rights. The laws, the rules of the court don't matter. Why? Because I'm not engaged in the racketeering corruption ring. I'm not paying some worthless bar-associated attorney money to say and reference the same things that I am and citing our laws and then expecting the court to do the right thing. I don't need to go $20,000 in debt to get the same exact result. This court is operated, this is a kangaroo court. It doesn't operate in the boundaries of our laws, the Connecticut Practice Book, the Constitution. Nothing matters. It operates to feed itself. It operates as a social justice club. I'm a white heterosexual Catholic male, and that's why I'm being persecuted by this court. I'm a responsible father with a house and 2 businesses. This woman doesn't even have a job. Right? Social justice reigns supreme in Connecticut family courts because social justice is the most expeditious means to acquire more revenue in the court. Facts don't matter. Reality doesn't matter to Judge Barry Armada and that cunt, dishonorable tyrant, Judge Majorowski. Yeah, we got some colorful language here now because just going through these records and trying to disclose them is very, very difficult for me. Very difficult. I'm sick and tired of it. My poor kid is locked up in a house. I haven't even talked to my daughter since October of 2020. Right? I haven't seen or talked to my daughter since before Christmas of 2020. There's a court order that yields me daily parental access. When one is in contempt of court outside of the courtroom, it is a criminal offense. I've provided a copy of the court order to the Vernon Police Department and said, look, she's in contempt. This is a criminal infraction. No, we don't do anything about that. That's a civil issue. Oh, look, here's evidence of perjury. I've got correspondence with Connecticut State Police, and they're like, yeah, this is absolutely perjury. This is irrefutable. Don't worry. We're investigating it for you. Well, what happens at the end of the investigation? Nothing. Nothing. These guys don't even answer the phone over there. Troop C has been blowing smoke up my ass. Vernon has been blowing smoke up my ass. Nobody wants to enforce felony violations of Connecticut general statutes. Isn't that nice? At the expense of my daughter, right? And you got this crazy-ass lady out there running around thinking that she's untouchable now. You know how bold she must be in her prostituting and her drug habits now? I wonder if she's in debt to her drug dealers and selling my daughter. Imagine living with that thought every day, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't all fun and games. Tyrant Slayer Studios is not a game. This is not fraud. I'm not a liar. I don't steal from people and lie about them and try to defame them on the internet. I don't harass people like the watchdog groups do. I have a real gavel here, and I have real knowledge of the law, and I have real experience in our courthouses. I don't have a fake gavel. I don't make things up. I don't steal people's property to try and drum up revenue for my own channel. This channel isn't about revenue, ladies and gentlemen. This channel is genuinely about exposing tyranny and corruption in the socialist, racketeering, Nazi, Democrat, nanny police state. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to continue to do it until the state gets its shit together and I get justice. We get justice. This is about justice, ladies and gentlemen. This is about protecting my daughter and saving her life. This is about helping you protect your daughter and saving her life. This same courthouse has done the same thing to thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of fathers in this state. And when I blow the lid off of this corrupt kangaroo court, we're going to nullify all of their other illegal and criminal misconduct orders and rulings and whatever the hell they've done to destroy families for money. This is all about money. For those of you who have already been looking into this and clogging up my comment section with fiction and fantasy and wild delusions, who have claimed I'm $15,000. I got $15,000 in arrears and okay, that stuff was put on me mere months ago. And I'm not paying any of it because the entire process is going to be overturned and nullified. I'm not paying. Oh, and I never even filled out a financial affidavit. So the state just, went ahead and said, just put them down at minimum wage. They just fill out the form for you if you don't do it yourself. With no knowledge of what income I actually have, they just do whatever they want. They've been doing whatever they want. It doesn't matter what the law says, what the Connecticut practice book says. It doesn't matter what the Constitution says. They just do whatever they want because that's how they make their money. That's what their careers are dependent upon. Their careers depend on the police not enforcing felony violations of Connecticut general statutes. So obviously someone in the court system, someone in the judicial system has local and state police in their pocket. That's irrefutable. And we're going to find out who these people are. And we're going to blow the lid off of the whole thing. And we're going to do it together here at Tyrant Slayer Studios. So please, I'm begging you, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Put the links of these videos out. Share this information. Share your story with me. Tell me what the family court has done to you and what you would like done about it, because we are going to see to it together that something is done about it. We are going to get justice here. That's it. That's all I can handle for today, guys. I'm sorry. We'll see you tomorrow.